So what's going on in our guts? In a way, this is a continuation of the video on identity that I did earlier. You'll see why when I get to the end. It's looking at it from an entirely different point of view. Let's start with ants, move on up to mice, and finish with human beings. This ant, Colobopsis leonardi, sometimes known as Camponotus leonardi, inhabits tropical forest habitats and the tree canopies mainly. Sometimes, because of gaps in the canopy, these ants are forced to descend to the forest floor, where they might be exposed to one of several species of fungi in the genus Ophiocordyceps. They may then pick up spores of this fungus and become infected. This fungus then begins to spread throughout the body of the ant. This fungus then basically takes over the ant's behavior. The ant falls back to the forest floor, then climbs up the stem of a plant and secures itself to a leaf vein using its mandibles. The ants generally clamp to a leaf's vein at a height of 26 centimeters above the forest floor on the northern side of the plant in an environment with 94 to 95% humidity and temperatures between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. These are ideal conditions for the reproduction of the fungus. The fungus then kills the ant and continues to grow and invade the soft tissues and to structurally fortify the ant's exoskeleton. Then this happens. The fungus has turned the ant into its own slave, into its own means of transport. And when this happens to an ant like this, it's often referred to as a zombie ant. One of nature's cool little side projects, right? All animals, including ourselves, carry within us an entire ecosystem of other species in and on us, particularly in the gut. This is the gut microbiome, which consists of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. It's estimated that in the human colon, for instance, there can be anything from 300 to 1,000 species. We each of us have a different world inside us. We need these microorganisms in the fight against pathogens and in helping to digest our food, to give just a couple of examples. Of course, the wrong kinds of organisms can also get in there, and the system can get completely out of balance, hence the whole probiotics industry. We need these organisms as much as they need us. But there is, of course, more to this than meets the eye. Just like us, mice naturally have such an ecosystem within them, and naturally, biologists have been messing around with this. They've reared mice in sterile environments, in a bubble, so to speak, to see how this subsequently affects the mice's development and behaviour. They found that mice with a normal load of gut biota are eager and quick to learn, they're curious, they're keen to explore mazes, they're motivated to exercise, and they have a good memory. But these bubble mice, on the other hand, lack curiosity, are slow to learn, quick to forget, and just generally more lethargic. But if you subsequently colonize a bubble mouse with gut biota, its behavior returns to normal. They even found that if you introduce gut biota from an overweight person, a human being, into one of these bubble mice, they become overweight. So the presence or absence of these gut biota clearly affects more than just digestion and the immune system. It also affects behavior. Now, our brain and our gut communicate along several pathways, including the vagus nerve, and by releasing various chemicals into other human systems. And these microorganisms have neurotransmitter receptor sites, which allows the brain to talk back to them. Neurologically active compounds produced by this gut microbiome affects the functions of the brain by regulating production, metabolism, and transmission of a range of neurotransmitters. Microbes help to regulate serotonin levels in the brain. And as with mice, scientists are now beginning to study how our gut microbiota may affect our mood, our behavior, how it might even influence our intelligence and performance. Unlike the poor ants who are turned into zombies by their fungal passenger, the relationship between ourselves and our gut microbiota seems to be mutualistic. They benefit and we benefit, until it gets out of whack, of course. So, getting back to this question of identity. If it turns out that this community within us does much more than just provide health benefits, such as help with the immune system and with our digestion, if in fact it actually affects our mood and maybe even our thought processes, then who am I? Maybe I am legion. Maybe I contain multitudes. Maybe I am we.